Most welcome, dear students. My name is D.N. Sukla from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Dear students, today we are going to talk about modals and auxiliary verbs. Dear student, auxiliary verb is divided into three parts. First is primary auxiliary verbs, second modal auxiliary verbs, and third marginal auxiliary verbs. Dear student, primary auxiliary verb is divided into three parts: be, have, and do. Be means is, am, are, was, and were. Have means has, have, and had, and do means do, does, and did. So we can say primary auxiliary verbs are is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, and did. They all are called primary auxiliary verbs. You can also call it helping verb. And modal auxiliary verbs are can, could, may, might, shall, should, must, will, would, used to, need, dare, ought to, etc. So dear student, in this video we will study in detail about primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. So firstly we are going to start primary auxiliary verbs, and we are going to talk about be. Dear student, be means is, am, are, was, and were. It is used to in formation of continuous tense. In present continuous tense, is, am, are is used. In past continuous tense, was and were is used. For example, mother is knitting a sweater. Mother was knitting a sweater. Second point, it is used to show that the action is more important than the doer. The cupboard was opened by Kriti. Next point, when followed by an infinitive, it is used to indicate a plan or an arrangement. We are to finish the work in a month. Next point, which I am going to tell you, that it is also used to denote a command. When we write or speak a sentence and we command anything, we can use be. You are to pick it up right now. In next point, we are going to talk about the primary auxiliary verb have. This is used to form the perfect tense. In present perfect tense, we use has and have. Has is used with simple subjects and have is used with plural subjects. And in past perfect tense, we use had. For example, the artists have painted beautifully. Next point, it is used with the infinitive to indicate some kind of obligation. For example, they have to return immediately. And now we are going to talk about the auxiliary verb do. Do contains three auxiliary verbs: do, does, and did. And dear student, do is used to form negative statements and interrogative statements in present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense. Do not and does not is used in present indefinite tense. Did not is used in past indefinite tense. Do is used for plural subjects and does is used for singular subjects. Helping verb did can be used with both subject, whether that is singular or plural. For example, he does not agree with me. Did you manage to finish the assignment? Next point, in imperative sentence, it is used to make the statement more forceful. For example, do be quiet. And now we are going to talk about modal auxiliaries. Can, could, may, might, would, should, must. These all are called modal auxiliary verbs. Can usually suggest potential or ability. When we use can in a sentence, that is used to suggest potential or ability. Randhir can take you to the airport. It shows the ability of Randhir. Can you lift this? Can is also used to indicate permission. You can join from tomorrow. Could is used to ask a polite question. Could you help me solve the sum? Could is used as the past tense of can in indirect speech. Toto said, I can help you. Toto said that he could help me. Could is used to indicate ability in the past. He could sing well once upon a time. So these are the points related to can and could. You need to understand and remember them. Now we are going to talk about may and might. May is usually used to request permission formally. May I use your razor? May I come in? And next point, may is also used to express a wish. A mark of exclamation is put at the end of a sentence expressing a wish. May you always enjoy good luck. May is used to indicate a good possibility. There may be some rain this evening. It may rain today. Next point, may suggest a good possibility and might suggest a weak possibility in the future. For example, the match schedule may be announced next Monday. He might return sooner than expected. We might go to the concert if the rain stops. Now we are going to talk about shall, should, will, and would. Shall is usually used in the first person and will in the second and third person. First person means I and we. With the subject I and we, shall is used, and second person you, third person he, she, it, they. With these subjects, will is used. I shall be pleased to visit you. You shall agree with me. Shall and will are used in future indefinite tense. You can say simple future also. Shall is used in the second and third person to express a command. When shall is used with second or third person, then it is used to express a command, a promise, or even a threat. He shall not work here again. You shall certainly be rewarded. Shall is used in interrogative sentence with the first person to indicate an offer or a suggestion. For example, shall I carry these books for you? Dear student, next point I am going to tell you that should is used to make a suggestion or to give advice. Whenever you are going to suggest or you are going to give advice anyone, then you can use should. You don't look well, you should see a doctor. Will is used to express a decision or a choice. For example, I will do the cooking today. So it is used to express a decision or a choice. Will is used to indicate a habit. If you are going to indicate any habit, then you can use will. He will go swimming as usual. Next point, will is used in interrogative sentence to suggest an invitation. Will you go on holiday with us? And next point, would is used to make polite request. You can use would to request anybody in polite way. Would you open the door for me, please? Would is also used in polite offer or invitations. Would you like a cheese sandwich? Would you have lunch with me on Sunday? These are the examples to understand. In clauses starting with if, should is used to express a supposition that may not be true. If it should rain, the match will be called off. Now we are going to talk about must and ought to. Dear student, must expresses necessity or obligation. You must remember this. You must be careful on the road. Must can express fixed determination. For example, I must have an opportunity to do what I wish. Must also express strong possibility. For example, he must have forgotten about the invitation. He must have forgotten about the invitation. Ought to is used to express moral obligation or duty to do something. We ought to respect the law. We ought to take care of our old parents. Now we will talk about used to. It is used to indicate a discontinued habit. She used to learn ballet. And also it is used to show any habit in the past. I used to graze the cow. Need, we are going to talk about the modal auxiliary verb need. Dear student, it denotes necessity or obligation. It is commonly used in negatives and interrogatives. He need not give up tennis. Need I help him? Need can also be used to denote requirement or desire. I do not need your help. Now we are going to talk about dare. Dare as modal auxiliary means to be bold enough to. It is commonly used in interrogatives and negative sentences. How dare he say this? How dare you to come here? Now, one more example is given. I dare not talk to her when she is in a bad mood. Dare can also be used to indicate a challenge. I dare you to eat all the food on the table. Now you are given some exercises to practice. That is exercise A. Choose the correct alternatives. Some options are given in the bracket after the sentence, and you have to choose the appropriate alternative and fill in the blanks. You should not lie. You can feel should. She could be ashamed of herself. We ought to help those in distress. Will you please lend me this book? So on, you can solve these exercises. All the exercises are given here. In exercise B, fill in the blanks with you using appropriate modals. Exercise 1. Would you please tell me the direction to the hotel? You may pay in cash. You do not accept. They do not accept credit card. I will come home from the office today. May I help you? So like this you can solve these exercises. These are given here. In exercise C, fill in the blanks with appropriate models in accordance with the instruction given in the bracket. Weak possibility. So you have to fill the modal auxiliary verb here in this exercise. That so weak possibility. I might attend the concert. Polite request. Would you pass on this message to my family? Okay, so like this you have to solve these exercises. And exercise D is given. The following passage has not been edited. There are error in the use of modals. Write the incorrect word and the correct word in the space provided. So dear student, you have to check the sentences, and if there is incorrect use of modals are, then you have to correct them. So you read the sentences and try to solve them. If you are unable to solve, then I will help you in our next video. I hope you understand about primary auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb. Primary auxiliary verbs are is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did. And modal auxiliary verbs are can, could, may, might, would, should, must, used to, need to, dare to. And dear student, I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you very much for watching this video.